Tatiana, the 4th ranked archer here in Beijing and the 14th ranked archer in the world.
680 in qualification, 680.
Her opponent, the reigning Paralympic champion Zhou, seeded 7th here in Beijing and ranked number 5 in the world. So Zhou was telling us earlier. Zhou was telling us earlier that she's used the fame she got in her local town from the Paralympic wins to be elected as the people's representative in her region, and she's really trying to do a lot for para sport in the area, which I think
that's fantastic. And there are a lot of athletes who, you know, I know myself and a lot of the British team, but also athletes across the world who go into schools and organisations and just talk about para sport, take their medals. Children always like to see medals, and it's about inspiring. Inspiring our future athletes and our future archers.
9 from Tatiana to open. Paralympic champion Zhou, who speaks perfect English.
Yes, and is a lovely lady. Wow, what a way to start.
A lovely 10.
She's just a little bit high in that target.
How much difference at the shooting end does an 8 at the target end require? What kind of variation?
The smallest, really the smallest. The fact of the matter is, with a compound bow, the arrow leaves the bow very, very quickly, and you know, you can imagine 50 meters away that the arrow is traveling, and a 1 millimeter variation at this end can be, you know, a 10 to a 9. So all you need is a little twitch on your release or not holding your bow in quite the same way, and it can have a big effect.
So a star on Tatiana's first arrow. Put that score back up. Your second arrow, my mistake. Either a 1 or 2 point advantage for the Russian athlete. Who beat Zhao's teammate Lin Yoshan in the semi-finals. Lin went on to win bronze already in this tournament. China is guaranteed 2 athletes on the podium. No upgrade for Tatiana on that 8. It'll be a 1 point lead, 27 to 26. Going into the second end. So how does this competition work, the individual final?
The individual final is also based on a cumulative score. Each end consists of 3 arrows, so 3 arrows over 5 ends. Exactly the same as the team round, in that it's the person with the biggest score who wins, and if there's a tie, then it's a single arrow. They have a countdown timer, just the same. It's 20 seconds per arrow, which really doesn't sound very much sometimes.
There's no time to reset, is there?
No, none at all. It's a great shot. And some archers are very quick shooters, but some take longer, and then it puts them under pressure.
That first arrow of Zhao's went in the same hole as her first in the first end, and only took 10 seconds to go off. Tatiana keeping pace.
think she has a really nice rhythm to her shot in terms of her timing.
We'll level things up. It's fast. It's fast compared to the other archers we've seen out here.
Well, there's nobody to communicate with them, and when the one archer has stopped, the countdown clock immediately starts for the second archer. So there is no waiting in between shots. Another 10.
That 10 maintains a 1-point advantage for Tatiana on target number 1. 55 to 54. 9 arrows, 3 ends left to shoot in this gold final.
Yeah, just get a little bit of a break at the moment, and depending on their relationship with the coach, sometimes the coach will come over and give them a lot of encouragement. Other times, Archer likes to be concentrating, focusing on what they need to do, and they don't want to be distracted. It's just this short break while the arrows are returned to the archers. Volunteers do a great job running backwards and forwards with arrows.
And they've been lovely here all week. Often in China and here in Beijing, they've been from university, giving up their week to come and help at this championships. Zhou starting us off as the trailing archer in N3. She's got a group up in that top right. That's something she's doing.
Yes, although yesterday we saw, as I said, on that right-hand target, we saw a lot of people with a group on that top right. That was really interesting. Of course, it could all be coincidence. But she's back in the 10.
Tatiana too strapped into her chair.
Wow, great 10. Different kind of strap. There's no regulation strap. Each is just designed to suit the individual archer. And another 10.
Best end so far from Zhou Shaiman.
Although there is a limit on how wide the strap can be and where it has to be located. And 3 10s.
It's been called as a 9-star by our spotter. We'll give it a minute.
Yes.
And see if it's upgraded. It does look like a 10 from here. And it will be Tatiana's best score. 3-arrow score of this final 2. So she'll maintain either her 1-point advantage or expand it to 2.
Judge is having a very good look at that one with a magnifying glass. He's called it. We were right, it was a 10.
Upgraded 3 perfect arrows. Our Russian athlete on target number 1. And a 2-point lead with 6 arrows left to shoot in this gold medal match. Neither of these women have won the world title before. But Zhou is the arguable favourite as the reigning Paralympic champion, trailing by 2 points, and shooting first in end number 4.
Starts with a 9. Wow. She's been shooting well in this match.
5 consecutive 10s from Tatiana.
Once she's zeroed in on that 10.
And to finish from Zhou, 29 points again, same as she scored last end.
And the same way, starting with a 9.
Tatiana. That will level things up here. So she was 2 points up arriving in this fourth end, and then an 8 with that last arrow. That just let Zhou back in. So Tatiana will shoot first now, as she's the one that started the match off. She chose to shoot first. She was the highest seeded archer here in Beijing. Shot 3 points more than Zhou over the qualification round. 72 arrows at 50 meters. Here just 15 arrows at 50 meters, and we're down to the last 3 that will decide this world champion title in Beijing. One point advantage for Tatiana. Zhou can level it with a 10. All level, 1 arrow left. 1 arrow to decide the world title.
That's a 9.
And that's not best Tatiana's best arrow of this match.
That's a 10.
That's the 10. Paralympic champion Zhou Zhaiman with the 10 when she needed it.
She suddenly found out. She suddenly realised. She's double checking though with her coach. Both archers on the line, just checking. Now
she knows. So it was a 15 arrow match that came down to the last 3 arrows. They were all tied going into the final end. And they were all tied going into the final arrow. Tatiana put in a wide 9. Zhou Zhaiman, the Paralympic champion, puts in a good 10 and wins her first world title here in Beijing on home soil.
That's fantastic, isn't it? Really fantastic.
And yet again, it just goes to show that it's not over until the last arrow.
Yes. I think it's going to be a while before she stops smiling.
A big wave to us in the commentary box on the way off the field.